A midlife crisis is more than just a cultural stereotype. It's a real psychological struggle that can surface between the ages of 40 and 60. Often triggered by aging, loss, or unmet expectations, it can actually lead individuals to question their identity, make impulsive choices, or abruptly abandon long term commitments. While not officially classified yet as a mental illness, the emotional and relational fallout is very real, especially for the spouses and families left behind. This podcast gives voice to those living through the aftermath, exposing the hidden pain, and seeking accountability, healing, and understanding. Thank you for joining us today on MLC Bomb Drop and Beyond. The stories and events discussed in this podcast are for informational and entertainment purposes only and should not be considered legal, medical, or professional advice. Any names, locations, or identifying details have been changed to protect privacy. Any similarities to actual persons, living or dead, or real events are purely coincidental. The information presented on this podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be considered as professional advice. Always consult with a qualified expert regarding any decisions related to your specific situation. The views expressed by guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the host or the podcast creators. Ooh, the breakup with the affair partner. The fantasy implodes when real life with the AP fails to deliver the promised salvation or emotional rescue. Why does this hit harder? It's the collapse of the fantasy. But when the affair fails, there's no more illusion to hide behind. That's when the MLCer often realizes they burned down their entire family, they screwed up their finances, they ruined their reputation, all for something that's ultimately shallow and toxic. They may have no safe landing place. Spouse is gone, affair partner is now gone, friendships have been damaged, adult kids are angry, everybody's lost respect for them. The affair partner often serves as the emotional fix, like feeding their ego and excitement. But once that supply is gone, that's when the MLCer crashes hard. They can no longer claim that, they're unhappy because their marriage was a prison. Now they must face reality and face themselves. Many experience severe depression or even suicidal ideation at this stage because all the running from pain finally stops. The bomb drop felt like liberation to them, but the affair breakup feels like the final proof that they are still lost, ashamed, and alone, no matter who they run to. Many folks think the affair partner is endlessly adored, but in reality, once the novelty wears off, the MLCer often treats them with explosive rage over trivial issues. They treat them with cold withdrawal and stonewalling, cruel comparisons to their former spouse, like, well, at least she didn't nag me like this. At least she didn't follow me everywhere with a GPS tracker. And he never smothered me as much as you do. Cruel comparisons. Public shaming and devaluation. Like, I must have been out of my mind to throw everything away for you. Yeah, newsflash. Scapegoating. You pressured me to leave. I never even wanted this. Why does this happen? Because the affair partner is easier to attack than the deeper problem, which is still the crisis inside themselves that they are not addressing. And you know what? They know, consciously or not, that the affair partner didn't actually fix anything at all. And that realization alone makes them furious and highly embarrassed. A few more reasons why the breakup with the affair partner is even worse than it was with the spouse. Well, first of all, there's no history of loyalty. They don't feel bound to the affair partner by years of commitment, family ties, a shared life. There's no cushion of goodwill. Once the affair partner stops serving as the fix, resentment takes over. They're angry at themselves, but it feels easier to lash out at the nearest person, as we have seen that happen. The MLCer realizes their old life is gone, boom, in a flash, and the affair partner is that living reminder of that loss. Oh, it's a cruel paradox, you guys. The affair partner is often the one they pursued so intensely, sometimes saying stuff like, I've never loved anyone the way I love that affair partner. But once reality arrives, the affair partner becomes the target of the deepest disgust and contempt. There's a lot wrapped up in that. So, if you're the betrayed spouse, remember, the affair was an attempt to outrun their own emptiness. And that can never work. It just doesn't work. Just before bomb drop, leading up to bomb drop, at bomb drop, after bomb drop, that was all a symptom of their disconnection from themselves, which is still going on. Welcome back to Midlife Crisis, Bomb Drop, and Beyond. Today, we're going to talk about something that few people see coming, and that is the spectacular and very painful crash, which happens when the midlife crisis affair finally ends. A lot of betrayed spouses believe their partner left them for their quote-unquote soulmate and that they're going to ride off into a perfect honeymoon together. But statistically and psychologically, affairs that start during a midlife crisis almost always end badly. And here's the twist. The MLCer often becomes crueler to the affair partner than they ever were to their spouse. And let's talk about, why does this happen? Totally crazy stuff here. So, the bomb drop was the illusion of escape. When the MLCer drops the bomb, it feels like they're finally escaping a prison. They feel euphoria, a huge relief, a sense of grand purpose. They are just gloating, and they go around saying things like, oh my God, I'm finally alive now. Oh, my spouse never really knew me. Oh, I'm in my 50s or whatever age they are, and they need to follow their heart. And at this stage, the affair partner is seen as the savior, the proof that they're still desirable and special. And this is the dopamine-fueled fantasy stage. During this phase, they often show almost no empathy whatsoever to their spouse, but their hostility toward their spouse is usually a cold, dismissive cruelty, like you're an obstacle and like you never even knew them. It's like, pshh. So, fast forward a few months, few years, and reality sets in. The affair partner has needs, flaws, expectations. Newsflash, bills start piling up, consequences, guilt piles up. And now this is when the MLCer starts to realize, you know what, I'm still unhappy. And not only that, but they're worse off than they were in their marriage. And here's the key. When the fantasy fails, the MLCer's shame has to land somewhere. They often can't face themselves. So they project the blame. Well, you guys know where they project the blame. They project the blame outward. Duh. This is when the relationship with the affair partner gets real ugly. They start to devalue the affair partner, like, oh, you pressured me into this. This is all your fault. They rage over trivial things. The affair partner starts to see that monstering that you saw at bomb drop. Your MLCer starts to withdraw sexually and emotionally from the affair partner. They start comparing them unfavorably to the ex-spouse, ironically, the very person that they discarded. Of course, it's an affair down, so surprise. They accuse the AP of ruining their life, which is typically true. Many MLCers are meaner to the affair partner than they ever were to their spouse. And why is that? Well, the affair partner is a living reminder every day of their mistake and everything they gave up. The affair represents everything they lost. They resent feeling duped by their own fantasy of their own making. Ugh. I mean, talk about guilt and remorse, and, it's awful. They have nowhere left to hide from their emptiness. A man who once said, "You're my soulmate," can later spit venom like, "You destroyed my family. I never even loved you." Well, it's a savage reversal that leaves the affair partner devastated and totally confused. Well, tit for tat. So, um, the MLCer always needs someone to blame so they don't have to face their own internal crisis. They may say stuff like, "You seduced me. If it weren't for you, I'd still have my family. You pressured me to leave." Uh, the breakup with the affair partner is often more catastrophic for the MLCer than the bomb drop was. And why is that? Well, because by then, they've already burned their old life to the ground. They've alienated their children. They have alienated their friends, their colleagues. They have no shiny new fix to distract them. And sadly, this is when the depression hits, sometimes hard enough that they consider self-harm, or they show up at the ex-spouse's doorstep, hoovering and begging for reconciliation. And this is why therapists often say affairs that begin in crisis end in crisis. Well, well, thanks for joining me today on this episode. If this resonates with you, share it with someone who needs to hear the truth behind the curtain of midlife crisis affairs. I know a lot of us say, well, there's always karma. Well, yes, there is indeed. So until next time, take care of yourself, stay awesome, and stay authentic to your true self. Thanks again, you guys, for tuning in to Midlife Crisis Bomb Dropping. We have reached over 12,000 downloads in the streams and beyond. We have hundreds of subscribers, if not over 1,000. You guys, forward moving spouses, you are not alone. Left behind spouses, you are not alone. Those in crisis, you are certainly not alone. This is just crazy how epidemic this has become. I have a waiting list now of people from around the world that I'm trying to get to. And if you've been through a midlife crisis or been impacted by someone else's and you want to share your story, I'd love to hear from you. Hang in there, you guys. I will get to all of you. Please reach out to me at mlcbombdrop@gmail.com and visit us on Facebook and Instagram, MLC Bomb Drop. And just remember, your voice matters. Your story could be the one that helps someone else feel seen. It could help someone else feel heard. And it will help somebody else feel understood. You are not alone, no matter where you are in your journey. If the bomb was just dropped, the earthquake just happened, if you are 7 or 8 years in and you're coming out of starting to wake up and awaken to this, you are not alone. It's sad that this is epidemic, but we're here to provide support. So until next time, take care and live authentically each and every day. Thanks again, you guys.